Hi there everyone, welcome back for another Pearblossom press video. I'm Cassie Trask. Today we're going to be making a snap and slide card. We're going to use a couple of these. These are so great. They're 10 in a package. You're going to need the sticky spots to go along with it, which are great. There's 100 in that. And then I did bring in the flat washers. I don't actually need them for my card, but these are fantastic because they fit right in the middle of those snap and slides for those pieces that you need to be a little bit heavier so that they'll actually spin when you need them to do it. So highly recommend those as well. All three of these go together perfectly. So we're going to use two snap and slides on my card today. We're going to bring in this adorable Lawn Fawn stamp set called Really High Five. It's been out for a couple of years, but I've used this stamp set so many times. I love it. It's so cute. Perfect for interactive cards. So we have that. We also have the matching dies, and then we have this giant happy birthday. So we're going to make a 5x7 card with this. You could do an A2 along with the spinner, but I wanted two spinners. And then I do have all the grasses. I thought I was going to use these. I end up not using them, but they would be perfect for this. I just decided I didn't need the little bit extra. So there are those as well. We also have some Trinity stamp stencils. We've got the Spring Day Scene Builder, and then we also have the Puffy Cloud Builder or layers. So we're going to use those to make our background. But before we make our background, let's go ahead and do our stamping first. Just to have that done, I'm going to go ahead and put all of those images onto some Express It cardstock. It's just really good for alcohol marker coloring, and I'm lining all those up. To be honest with you, I wasn't exactly sure the entire layout of this card yet, and I didn't know how many images I needed, so I went crazy like I always do, and I stamped out a bunch. So I stamp out several balloons, I get all the animals, I'm going to stamp out hats and presents, and we're going to do that. I did stamp out the grass as well, because at this point I wasn't sure if I wanted it. I don't even color it. I'm going to save that for another project. So we're going to do our coloring. This is going to be, just going. And so I'm going to show you some of it. Obviously the littler things, I'm not going to show you those because I'm not using a bunch of colors on those. The balloons, I'll show you the two red ones that I do, but I do a yellow and I do a blue and a green as well. Balloons are difficult for me, but I found that with round images, this is my tip for you, round images, don't take your darkest color all the way to the edges. Leave a little bit of that light color showing. That will give the illusion that it is a rounded object. So it'll make it look a little bit more 3D. And then I'm going to color my bear. Now, I thought I was going to go dark with this bear. And so my suggestion for you is, even if you think you're going to go dark, start light and then you work your way darker. You can always make things darker. You can't really make them that much lighter. It's very hard to do. So always start lighter and go darker. I didn't even end up using my darkest color because I was afraid it would cover up his little face and I didn't want that. So I used those two lighter colors, didn't even use the darkest color I brought in. So that's my suggestion for that. And moving on to the bunny, I have found that when I color anything white, like I want it to be predominantly white, I start with my darkest color. Typically I go light to dark, but when I'm doing something that I want to be white, I start with my darkest color and I work it out that way. That way I'm not putting down too much color. Then we'll make our little fox orange. He's so cute. And I'm showing you these just simply because I do use multiple colors on the animals. But like I said, the present, I don't even use multiple colors on the trampoline. I do very flat because those are not the star of the show here. Our little images are, and the fact that they're going to jump around on there is really just fun. Oh my goodness. I could make so many of these. It was just so much fun. And now I'm like, who do I send this card to? Because I love it so much, I don't know if I want to get rid of it. But now I have the formula. I can make many, many more. All right, we'll just finish up our little mouse. I decided on a brown mouse. Thought about gray, then I decided to do brown. And because he is going to be on the outside of my card, and so is the bunny, and I wanted a little bit of contrast there. All right, let's get started on our background. I do have a piece of 5x7 cardstock. This is just some white cardstock. I'm going to tack that down using the magnets to my glass mat, and then we'll bring in a blending brush along with that Spring Day Builder stencil. And I'm just going to stencil on some of that green. We're using that first color green, which is called Later Gator, and then I'm going to bring in some 4 is what it's called, and I'm just doing a little bit of that on the bottom just to add a little bit of variation in the color. It's not even that obvious. You could completely skip that part, but I did it anyway. Now I'm going to clean up my mess so that I don't get any color contamination, and we'll move on to the puffy cloud stencil. And you can move this around. This is, I think, typically originally for like a slimline, but this works so perfectly for A7s also. And so I'll bring in some high tide, and I'm going a little darker at the top, and I'll work my way down getting lighter. I will clean off my stencil sort of in between, but you can flip this stencil around and you can add that color and make those clouds look a little bit different. You can flip your stencil over. You can, you know, turn it, move it, however you want to do it. But there are 4 sides to this, and then you can, like I said, change it up by flipping your stencil over each other, if that makes any sense. So that's kind of what we're doing here, and we're going lighter, like I said, the further down that we go. And we'll do 2 more on this stencil, or on this background. I love 5x7 cards. I've really been doing a few more of those lately, just simply because I really like how much space you have to work with. It's just so much fun. Now sometimes that can be intimidating for people. They don't like to have that much space to work with, but in this case, because my sentiment is so big and I did want to have a couple of jumpers, a 5x7 just seemed absolutely perfect. Okay, so we're done. We'll clean up, and now we're going to use our matching dies to die cut out all of our images. I could have done this sooner, but I think I just was kind of like, well, I could always lose the pieces, so let's just wait. So now we're going to die cut all those out, and then we're going to play around with where we need our mechanism to be. I didn't show you this die earlier, but this is from Trinity Stamps. It's called Slide and Spin. A die like this just makes those interactives so much easier, but before we use that die, we're going to go ahead and center up the happy birthday right in the middle of our A7 panel. And I'll run this through my die cutting machine. I'm going to tack it down with a little bit of mint tape because we want all those pieces to stay in place. So I'm tacking that down, and I'm going to run that through my die cutting machine. Now again, I want to keep all the inside pieces, so I'm carefully removing that and setting that upside down so I don't lose any of those inside pieces. I need all of it. So now we can play around with where we want our slider to go. And once I've decided that, I'm going to die cut that twice, 1 on each side. Make sure you keep those pieces as well. That's going to go inside that channel again when we tack this down to the front of our base. But now we can glue down our trampolines. So I'm playing around with which animal I want to go where. And at one point I thought, ooh, that little mouse may be too small for our slide or our snap and slides. But he actually works out just perfectly. So that's another thing to have to keep in mind. So with these, they are fairly small, not huge, not tiny, but they are kind of small. You just need to make sure that whatever you're attaching it to, it isn't going to show. So it won't show on any of the images. It slightly shows maybe with the mouse a little bit, but I move it more towards his head, and so you really can't see it. So we're going to go with the mouse, and we're going to go with the bunny. Those are the 2 we're going to do. So let's glue down our trampolines. And then we can put our snap and slides together. I'm going to do one of them. I'll do it on that left-hand side. What's nice about these is once you put it on there, it's not like it's like on there. Like you can take them apart if you need to. I guess before we do that, let's get their hats on them. So I did stamp out 4 hats. Everybody's going to get a hat because this is a birthday card. So yes, you're going to wear a hat. We have one for our bear and our fox. And all of our pieces are now basically ready to go either on the outside of the card or the inside of the card. All right, this is where I'm going to put the channels back in. So let's glue those down. Don't use too much glue. You don't want it to seep out the edges. This is just going to sit there back in the background so that everything looks cohesive. If you didn't have it there, it would show the white when your critter is jumping up and down, but I don't want that, so we're going to put that back in the channel. And then I did die cut out the happy birthday about 7 times using white cardstock, and I'm going to go ahead and put one of those down on the inside of the where the cloud one would go. So we use liquid glue, of course, again, make sure it doesn't seep out the sides too much or at all. And then we'll stick our happy birthday right down. And then we can be ready to start putting the inside pieces in. So I'm going to push this down, make sure that's on there pretty decently, and then I can carefully peel away the panel, making sure not to move anything. Okay, now that's down. So let's grab the inside pieces of the happy birthday. And then we can save the cloud happy birthday to go for the end part of the card. So that's all I'm going to do. I'm just going to use some liquid glue and put those pieces right back in like a puzzle piece. And so we'll do that with all of them. That's why it's important to kind of keep them so that you know where everything goes. That's why I like to keep them inside the die for as long as possible. And we just have a couple more to put down. The inside of the D, the P, and then the H. And so that's all ready to go. And I'm going to go ahead, just to save a little bit more time, and glue all of the rest of these together. So I've got 6 stacked up. We'll put that off to the side. And now we can start working with that snap and slide. So let's go ahead and put one of those in there. And we're going to see how that slides around, because at this point I wasn't sure if I needed a washer. I don't. Like I said, these are going to bounce just fine. And then you're going to need the sticky spots. And you can put one on each of those pieces. So if you've noticed, there are, obviously 2 pieces to the snap and slide. There's a female and a male part. I like to keep the male part on the top and the female part is on the bottom. Not that it really matters, but that's just how I prefer to do it. Then we'll attach our little bunny down, and look, he's hopping around just fine, so we don't need a washer. We're good. And now we'll put our mouse on the other side. So they are ready to go. So the next step would be to add our foam tape. And so for foam tape, you want something that is about 3 millimeters thick. Scrapbook.com has some. I'm using 2 different widths. So they're both 3 millimeters thick, but this one is a thicker width. And you just want to make sure you're leaving some room for your channel, so that way your snap and slide doesn't get caught on it. And it's ready to go now. Everything slides as perfectly as it needs to. But I should have done this first. I'm going to stamp out the little action parts of our trampoline so it makes it look like they actually are jumping or bouncing. Hindsight. I tell you, sometimes I don't plan out my cards as well as I probably should. The next part would be to peel off the release paper. I'm only peeling off all of the release paper for the inside of the piece. The outside foam tape, I am going to do a little trick here because it always freaks me out to try and put down anything with foam tape. I'm always afraid it's not going to go down straight. So I just like to peel back a little bit, about an inch or so on every one of those outside pieces. Just peel it back a little bit. I don't know if it just gives me confidence or what, but then I can easily put down the panel on top of the base and line everything up the way it needs to be lined up. And once it's on there, I can then carefully peel away the rest of the foam tape or the release paper and push everything down. So everything's good to go. Now I'm going to go ahead and glue down those white happy birthdays that I had done earlier that are 6 deep. We're going to put that on the inside. And that fits in there nicely. It's almost like having foam tape in there, but a lot less hectic and hard to do. And then I'm going to glue down the cloud on top of that. You could totally skip that if you didn't want, if you want the happy birthday to stick out a little bit more. But I like having the clouds in there. I think it pops in a way that just makes it kind of neat. But of course, we're not done yet. There's still a couple minutes left in the video. So we're going to put our images on the inside, and I'm going to glue those balloons together. That's just going to make it a little bit easier for me to be able to position my string, because I still have to stamp the string. You could have stamped them and die cut them. I chose not to do that because I knew these balloons were going to go on the inside of the card. So we're just gluing all those balloons together. And then we'll grab the string stamp, and we're going to stamp 3 string for the balloons. And then we can glue our balloon down, and we can glue down our fox. He's holding on to those balloons. And then we'll do the same thing on the other side with the balloons and the bear. We're going to glue down the presents to the outside. And then, once again, because I like to live dangerously, we're going to stamp a sentiment. If it didn't work, which it did, I could have just stamped it on a piece of paper and then glued it down. But I like how it says, jumping up to say happy birthday. And then I did stamp on the inside as well that says, yay, it's your birthday. So I love this card. It just makes me so happy. When I hand this off to somebody, I don't think I want to mail it. I want to see their reaction. But if you like this video, be sure to hit that like button. Definitely consider subscribing if you haven't already done so. And be sure to check out all that Pearblossom Press has going on over on their blog, Facebook page, and Instagram for more crafty inspiration. Thanks for stopping by, and we'll see you soon.